Hey, what's going on, everybody, and welcome back to episode number 11 of Know the Game here on Sideline Sports. And first of all, as you can see, both of us got a little bit different setups here. I kind of moved my desk around in my room, so now we got this background, and Gavin did whatever he did. And we're also both on our phones, so the camera quality should be looking a lot better than the Android iMac computers that we've been using in the past. But yeah, this is episode number 11 of Know the Game. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And today we are going to be talking about two NBA players really fumbled the bag. Uh, One of them fumbled it twice. The other one fumbled it pretty much this whole season, turning down a massive extension and then signing for pretty much pennies. We'll also talk about the MLB Field of Dreams game that just happened. That game was crazy. It was one of the highest speed baseball games in recent years. We'll also go over Fernando Tatis returning, a pitcher throwing a no-hitter in his first game, the award races for Major League Baseball, and a few retirements that aren't super notable but are something to talk about. And then over in the NFL, we'll go over the NFL preseason quarterbacks, the rookies making their debuts. We'll talk about that, as well as the AFC West and NFC East predictions. And before we get into it, we've wanted to do an on this day in sports history of when we record the podcast, but every time we've looked, it's kind of been like a stupid sports day. But today, on this day in sports history, in 2012, Felix Hernandez pitched a perfect game against the Tampa Bay Rays. King Felix Hernandez is probably one of the greatest pitchers in Seattle Mariners history. He was a Cy Young, multiple-time All-Star, and then obviously threw a perfect game with the Mariners. So that's what happened on August 15th, 2012. Sorry. But yeah, let's just get straight into this episode, Gavin. Take things away.
So the highly anticipated Field of Dreams game between the White Sox and Yankees happened a couple days ago, and it was pretty much the game that everybody wanted it to be, and ending in a dramatic walk-off fashion by Tim Anderson. I mean, the game it looked kind of one-sided at points of the game for the White Sox, but the Yankees came back and scored, I believe, 4 runs in the ninth, and then Tim Anderson walked it off in the bottom of the ninth.
Dude, that game was crazy. Obviously, the Yankees pitched Andrew Heaney, who, as an Angels fan, I know that he is notorious for giving up home runs and just being bad in general. However, but he continued that. He got a few quick outs to start the game, and then he gave up a home run to Jose Abreu, and then from there the ball was just flying out of the park. Judge hit a home run, Stanton hit a home run, and then obviously Tim Anderson hit a walk-off home run after um, Liam Hendricks blew the game in the ninth. The White Sox come on to win it, but like I mentioned, well, I didn't officially mention it, but this was the most viewed regular season baseball game in the last 16 years. So in the last 16 years, there's been no game that has had this much viewership than the game on Thursday night in Iowa at the Field of Dreams. And I mean, that was just an amazing game to watch and amazing in every aspect, bro.
Well, that being the most viewed game in how many years, that's pretty big for the sport of baseball because this year a lot of new fans, a lot of new people have been watching the sport and have been loving it. The views are at an all-time high this season for baseball. And I mean, this game was crazy. Liam Hendricks with a blown save. You didn't really see a lot of that from Liam Hendricks because he's been really good this year for the White Sox. He threw the last pitch in the All-Star game. I mean, the White Sox, man, they they even the Yankees. This whole game was amazing. I mean, the field was amazing. Kevin Costner was out there. Um, this field, it was beautiful. In the game too.
Yeah, it was just great to see, all the things that they did that tie into the movie. The players in the beginning walking out from the corn with Kevin Costner, just really paying homage to the movie when all the players walk out of the corn. And then also, like you said, the field was amazing. Obviously, the corn behind the outfield was freaking sick. It would be cool if the fence wasn't there, but I don't really know how that'd work if like a ball gets hit and rolls to the corn. But still, you could see the corn, and then the field was amazing. They were talking about on the broadcast that it was like one of the best kept grounds crew fields in like Major League Baseball because there's no one else playing there, so they got all the time in the world to fix it up, and the atmosphere there seems amazing. The scoreboard that Fox used, that was whack on the
It was
screen.
ugly.
I guess it kind of fit the aesthetic, but I think it was one of the ugliest scoreboards I've ever seen. But besides that, the game was amazing, dude.
Well, Rob Manfred has confirmed that the Field of Dreams game will be again played in 2022. But I mean, that's gonna be amazing. Who like is gonna play that game? Everybody's gonna love to see it. But
Well, who do you think? Who would you want to play in the next one?
I've been seeing some stuff about the Dodgers and Giants. I would
Hmm.
love to see the Dodgers play. Just 'cause I'm a Dodger fan. Love to see them play. But honestly, I mean, I I'd have to say, yeah, I honestly would have to say the Dodgers and Giants because I mean, people are saying the Brooklyn Dodgers and the New York Giants.
Yeah, I've
They
seen that
can
one.
use
Yeah.
their jerseys because the Giants and Dodgers have been battling out this whole entire season for first place. The Giants have kept that spot, and the Giants the most surprising team this whole season. I'd love to see them two play in the Field of Dreams next year.
Yeah, I've seen that one, and then one I saw today that is actually a really good one is the Cubs and Cardinals. Both of those teams are some of the oldest teams in baseball, and the throwback jerseys on that would be pretty sick. But I think Brooklyn Dodgers, and New York Giants as well would be something else. That'd be really cool.
So moving on, we got our first no hitter in a really long time this season, and it was by some dude on the Arizona Diamondbacks. And his first career start, he threw a no hitter, bro. Tyler Gilbert of the Arizona Diamondbacks no hit the San Diego Padres last night. And if you're a Padres fan, it hurts. But if you're a Diamondbacks fan, that's like the biggest win of the season for you guys.
Seriously, bro, it literally came out of nowhere. First of all, I've never heard of this dude in my life. I'm not even gonna lie, and I'm a very big sports fan, a baseball fan as well. But I've never heard of Tyler Gilbert in my life. And then I opened up social media last night, and he uh, he threw a no hitter against the San Diego Padres, which is probably one of the best teams in baseball, competing for a wild card spot. He had 5 strikeouts last night. He gave up 3 walks, which, by the way, all 3 of them were to Tommy Pham, which is pretty crazy. But and then, dude, the Diamondbacks were just hitting last night, 15 hits on 7 runs. But Gilbert, first MLB start. I mean, there's not much more you could ask for in your first big league start than a no hitter.
I mean, you said that you didn't know him, but I was actually listening to the commentary because I watched the full last inning on YouTube that MLB posted, and the announcer said that he was picked up in the Rule 5 draft by the Arizona Diamondbacks from the Los Angeles Dodgers. Hurts for a Dodger fan, but Tyler Gilbert. I mean that is huge, man. Coming into your first career start, not knowing how you're going to perform against big league hitting, and then you just throw a no hitter. I mean, you can't ask for a better start. I mean, you could probably ask for a perfect game as a better start, but other than that, that is crazy for your first career start.
Seriously, and his dad was there too, and they cut to the camera, and his dad was emotional. So, I mean, that was just an amazing night for your MLB debut. And I mean, great win for the Arizona Diamondbacks, bro. Go Snakes.
Um, Next we have a pitcher that hasn't thrown an actual game for over 2 years. Chris Sale made his start with the Red Sox yesterday, and he threw 5 innings, allowed 6 hits, two runs, 0 walks, and 8 Ks. 8 Ks through 5 innings. The Red Sox have been struggling since the All Star break. They were one of the most red hot teams before the All Star break. Now they're struggling. If you're a Red Sox fan, how does it feel to have your ace Chris Sale back on the mound?
I mean, it's got to feel great. Their pitching staff this season, the whole team this season has been one a surprise and two really good until the second half of the season started. And then now they get their ace pitcher back, who in his first debut game throws 5 innings with 8 Ks. I mean, that is a sign that you have the guy to take you to a World Series, which possibly the Red Sox could be a World Series team. They're at 69 wins, and they're second in the wild card right now. So Chris Sale coming back, and it's them against the Rays for the top of the division. I mean, it is definitely possible that the Red Sox could be in World Series contention. And now that Chris Sale is back, and if they start picking it up.
Um, another this is just a extension thing right here. Brandon Crawford signed a 2-year, $32 million deal with the Giants. Extension with them. He's been really good for the Giants this year. I mean, super good. Nobody really expected Brandon Crawford to be this good this year with the Giants. Keeping him for 2 more seasons is a big thing. He is old, but I mean, he has one of the nicest and smoothest gloves at the shortstop position.
Yeah, this season, All Star obviously hitting 298 with 19 bombs, a 365 on base percentage is really good. 563 or 539 slugging as well, and a 903 OPS. Brandon Crawford is playing like he used to play back in 2015 to pretty much 2018. Brandon Crawford was an elite shortstop, and he's playing like that again. And 16 million for the next 2 seasons for Brandon Crawford. He's 34 right now. He'll be 36 when that contract's over. It's definitely a risky deal, but the way he's been playing and the way he's played throughout his career, you just can expect that he'll continue this for the next 2 seasons.
Um, so a big thing for the San Diego Padres after getting no hit. Fernando Tatis Jr. has returned. I mean, he's playing the game right now. Already hit a home run, but he's playing in right field. I mean, the Padres just got no hit by a player in his first career start. I mean, you never want to have that happen to you. The Padres are on a 4-game losing streak, and they are 10 games back from first place. From first place Giants, 6 games back from the second, or yeah, 6 games back from the second place Dodgers. That is supposed to be the most best division in baseball, and the Padres have been struggling as of late. And having Fernando Tatis Jr. back on your starting lineup for how many more days is it feels like a big victory for the Padres.
Yeah, it's a crazy victory. Obviously, hitting a home run in his first game back from the injured list is crazy, and it's crazy too because it was a shoulder injury, and now he's fine and he hit a home run. So that's crazy. And then also, he's playing right field. I know they were talking about him possibly playing center when he comes back, but putting him in right field, maybe taking some of the stress off of him defensively and that shoulder too. But Tatis is an MVP candidate, and then like you said, the Padres, they've lost 4 in a row coming into this game today. Um, they need to pick it up because they got a team right on their back in the Cincinnati Reds. They're 2 games back of a wild card spot right now, and you cannot lose this if you're the Padres. Everybody was expecting you and the Dodgers to make the postseason. Nobody's expecting the Giants, and they came in here. So now it's you and the Dodgers that everybody is expecting to play in the wild card game. And if you get beat out by the Cincinnati Reds, I mean, that is just a very disappointment for them on the season. And I mean, that cannot happen. But you Darvish also went on the IL today when they brought back Tatis. So you pick up a guy, but you also lose your best pitcher. So I mean, hopefully the Padres can pick it up.
Next thing, very sad news if you're an MLB fan. Chris Davis retired, man. Chris Davis, he signed a humongous deal with the Baltimore Orioles. Um, he didn't live up to the expectations that the Orioles thought that he would play. When he signed that contract, he was super good. He was like in the MVP voting. Um, he signed a massive deal with the Baltimore Orioles. If you're an Oriole fan, you love that he's gone and you want to pay him. But Chris Davis was an amazing person off the field, and in that span when he was really good, he was really good. He was like the best person in baseball. But like from 2018 to 2020, the last time playing, he was really bad. He was really bad.
Yeah, it's funny because I just watched a video on him this morning eating breakfast. Um, the thing with him is he could definitely hit home runs. Well, he only had like 2 seasons where he really hit a lot of home runs. But on his career, he has 295 home runs, 5 away from 300. That's pretty nice. Had a 53 home run season and a 47 as well. But the big thing with Chris Davis is that he never got on base. His career is a 315 on base percentage, which really sucks. And he struck out a lot. He struck out 219 times once in 2016, which led baseball. You can't be striking out. If you're gonna strike out, you got to hit home runs. But the thing is, he just couldn't start to hit, like you said, from 2018 on. He had a stretch from 2018 to 2019 where he went 0 for 52. He didn't hit a ball for 52 at bats. He finally broke that. But Chris Davis got paid that 7 year. I think it was 190 something million dollars, 160 something million dollars, somewhere in that range. And he never lived up to that contract that the Orioles, gave that's their highest contract ever, and he did not live up to the hype at all.
Another thing, Jake Arrieta got released by the Chicago Cubs. They
Oh damn,
re-signed.
I didn't even know.
They re-signed him. He's placed on like waivers or whatever, but they released him. He has like a 6 something ERA, which is terrible.
God
Former
damn.
he was super good that one year when he was like super good with the Cubs. Pretty sure that was a Cy Young year. He was good when on the Cy Young year, and then he got picked up by the Phillies for a pretty big contract, and then he just got picked up by the Cubs this offseason on a 1 year deal, but now he's released.
Bro, he wasn't even an all-star the year he won Cy Young, which is crazy. He went 22-6. Wins and losses don't matter though. He had 1.77 ERA and he had 100 and 236 strikeouts. Wow. And then the next year he was an all-star when they won the World Series. He went 18-8. So he was good for pretty much 2 years of his career. He was really good. And then the rest he was solid. And then he started to play bad once he really got to Philadelphia and then Chicago. His second stint in Chicago, he sucked. That's why he got released. So, hate to break it to you, Jake.
Um, what was there anything else you wanted to add to this MLB section?
Yeah. So the award races for the MLB, when it comes to, we'll go over the big three, for the most part, in the MVP, Cy Young, and Rookie of the Year. In the American League MVP, people say it's a two-person race, and I agree, but I really think it's a lock for first place. The two guys it's between are Shohei and Vladdy. I think it's a lock for for Vladdy. I think it's a lock for Shohei Ohtani. He's leading the league with 39 home runs. Also has a sub-2 ERA, and leading the Angels in strikeouts and home runs. So overall, I think it's Shohei Ohtani. So who do you think the AL MVP would be for you?
I mean, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. was tearing up at the start of the season, and then he kind of went on a slow home run pace when he wasn't hitting as much home runs as he was, meant to hit. Pretty sure. I mean, Shohei has had a pretty much home run slump as of late, but I think Shohei's picked it up a little bit. He's down to like a 2 something ERA as a pitcher, while leading the league in home runs. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, it has to be Shohei Ohtani with this pick. I mean, he's having a two whatever ERA and leading the league in home runs. That's the
As a
MVP
pitcher?
of the AL.
Yeah, I mean the case for Vladdy, the way I could only see him winning it is if he wins Triple Crown, but he doesn't. He's not leading the American League in batting average anymore. He's still leading them in runs, on base percentage, OPS, OPS plus, and total bases. So he's league leader in all those categories. But Shohei is doing it on both sides of the ball. which Vladdy's not. So take that L. But also, I mean, Shohei is just he's the greatest human to ever exist. So he is the AL MVP. What about the National League MVP? There's a lot of talk of Bryce Harper. There's also some crazy possible talk in Joey Votto. Maybe if Acuna wasn't hurt, and then Tatis obviously comes back. Who do you have?
Well, I've seen some. I've compared stats. I've seen stuff about, Bryce Harper or Tatis, Bryce Harper, Trey Turner, even Max
Mm.
Muncy also. But you know, Tatis, although he's been outstanding this year. I just feel like he's missed way too many games to even be considered an MVP. I mean, he's been on like the IL like 3 different times. I'm pretty sure. But I'm gonna have to say to give to Bryce Harper. I mean, he's been this Pat ever since the All Star break. He's been like the best player in baseball, and if he can stay this red hot through the rest of the season, he may have to win that MVP award.
Yeah. So the odds right now, the American League odds is Shohei minus 900 and Vladdy plus 700, but the National League is much closer all around. Tatis right now is at plus 100 with Harper at plus 240, Buncy at plus 500, Turner at plus 850, and Freddie Freeman at plus 1200. So, Muncy and Turner, two Dodgers, one of them a newly acquired Dodger in the mix. But, the Tatis thing, he's really good. 31 home runs. I think that might be 32 now, leading the National League in that, as well as slugging and OPS, All Star as well. But he's only played 87 games, and there's some teams only have like 60, 50 something games left, I believe, and Tatis hasn't played 100, and he's never played 100 games in his career. I don't know if you can give an MVP to a guy like that. I don't even think he can qualify. I mean, he's obviously in the league in home runs, but I don't know if he should be able to qualify for MVP. But Bryce Harper this season, 21 bombs, a 298 average, 980 OPS. I mean, Bryce Harper, the only category he leads the National League in is OPS plus, but that doesn't matter. I mean, when you are playing like Bryce Harper is, and your team is first place in the division, they really shot up the standings of late when Bryce Harper's been on this tear. I think it's got to go to Bryce Harper. I agree with you in that 100%. So
Um,
next we'll go Cy Young. We'll start with the American League. Who is your AL Cy Young?
well, I mean, there's been a lot of a lot of talk, but I'm not that. I mean, I don't even know.
I'll take it. I think my American League Cy Young. I think it's really between three players. I think two of them are on the same team. I think it's Carlos Rodon, Lance Lynn, and Garrett Cole.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna go
I totally
with
forgot about those guys.
I'm gonna go with Lance Lynn. I know Garrett Cole's been really good, but he's also missed some time, with COVID. But Lance Lynn this season has been absolutely amazing. He has a what is it? A 2.26 ERA, 10 wins, 3 losses, with 137 strikeouts. That's elite ball placement right there. So that's why I think Lance Lynn's the Cy Young.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't really think of anybody when you said AL, but I mean, when you said those names, I remembered how good Lance Lynn was. He has been my AL Cy Young lock for the past couple months, or the past like 2 months. I mean, he's been he's been a surprising player for the White Sox. He signed an extension earlier in the season for like two more seasons, something like that. I mean, he has been the best pitcher in the AL. I mean, not counting Garrett Cole, with him missing some time. Because if he didn't miss any time, Garrett Cole would be my AL Cy Young. But right now, I'm gonna have to give it to Lance Lynn.
Yeah, and then the National League, if Jacob DeGrom didn't get hurt, I think it's consensus he gets it. He'll continue being on that GOAT streak that he was on. But it's really between Zach Wheeler, the two or the three guys in Milwaukee, Burns, Woodruff, and Freddie Peralta. I'm gonna go with Zach Wheeler. 10-7. Wins and losses don't matter, but some old school people like that stat. 2.56 ERA as well as 187 strikeouts, which leads. I believe he leads Major League Baseball. I know for a fact he leads the National League. He also leads in innings pitched. So Zach Wheeler, like I said with Bryce Harper, the Phillies coming out of nowhere and getting that first place. If they can win that division, I think Harper and Wheeler both win these awards.
I'm gonna have to go with my NL Cy Young to be Walker Buehler.
Forgot about him.
Walker Buehler is leading the whole league in ERA right now with 2.09 ERA. He has 162 strikeouts. He has a .938 WHIP. Walker Buehler, he in the last 6 or 7 starts, he has allowed 2 or less runs in the game in that span. He's been the most dominant pitcher in baseball as of late. Those last couple starts. If he can keep this up, he's gonna win Cy Young and maybe even something else if he has a better season because he is really close to having a 1 ERA. That's amazing.
Yeah, I can't believe I forgot about him when he's on my fantasy baseball team. Now we got Rookie of the Year. I'm not gonna lie, when it comes to the American League, I haven't really been able to think of many people. Before the All Star break, it probably was Adolis Garcia, but since the All Star break, he's been not that great. I'm gonna go with Randy Arozarena, who somehow is still a rookie eligible player, although he's played at least 1 million games in his career each season. He's just a good mix of power, power, speed, and defense. And on the first place Tampa Bay Rays.
Well, I don't know anybody that's actual. Randy Arozarena, he played and he was amazing in the postseason with the Rays. To be it's crazy that he's even considered a rookie still because he's
Seriously.
played a good amount of games. But Adolis Garcia has played was really good, but as of late he's been really bad. Akil Baldu was a player with the Tigers. I'm pretty sure he's going to be out for a long time. Um, but I can't. Randy Arozarena. I'm looking at the stats right now, of, AL rookies, and it's looking like Randy Arozarena is going to take that. So I'm going to have to give it to Randy Arozarena.
Yeah, and in the National League, I'm looking at the odds right now. I didn't even know Ian Anderson for the Braves is a rookie. He's on my fantasy baseball team, by the way. Shout out to him when he's off the IL. Earlier in the season, it was really the two Marlins players, Trevor Rogers, an All-Star, and Jazz Chisholm as well. Jazz has missed a lot of time with injuries, ankle injuries and stuff. But a guy who really has came out of, I guess, nowhere. He was also once on my fantasy baseball team, and I dropped him for some reason. And I totally regret that. Jonathan India of the Cincinnati Reds. This dude has been on an absolute tear, dude. He hits the ball like it's crazy. His odds are minus 140 right now to win Rookie of the Year. And he has 14 bombs and a 275 average. He has 101 hits as well. That is a Rookie of the Year right there. Obviously, Trevor Rogers of the Marlins is having a great season, but I'm gonna go with Jonathan India.
Well, I didn't think you were going to say Jonathan India because I didn't think you were going to think of him, but that was mine.
Yeah.
It still could be mine, but Jonathan India. He's a minus 140 odds of freaking winning that Rookie of the Year award for the NL. He's been amazing with the Reds. I mean, everything about Jonathan India is a pretty crazy man. He is he's gonna be my Rookie of the Year for the National League.
Yeah, obviously, Trevor Rogers has a good case. His Miami Marlins have the 11th ranked pitching staff by ERA in baseball, and he has a very solid 2.45 ERA, 129 strikeouts. But Jonathan India, is a guy for both of us. So I think that's gonna wrap it for the MLB part of Know the Game.
Yeah, I mean, usually we do NBA first, but I like totally forgot that I switched the MLB and NBA section. But next we're gonna go to the NBA, which we should have done first. Um, these two players, man, they fumbled the bag. One did once, and the other did it twice. First up is Dennis Schroeder of now the Boston Celtics. The Lakers, the Lakers offered him a 4-year, $84 million extension. But his agent was like, "Nah, you could get more money for agency." Obviously not, because he just signed a 1-year, $5.9 million deal with the Celtics. He went from getting offered an $84 million deal for 4 years to now getting signed for a $5.9 million deal for 1 year.
Trash, bro. Whoever his agent is needs to be like, stop playing with him, bro. He cannot make more than that. And he really fumbled the bag there. I mean, last season he was not good. The year before with the Thunder, he was like in 6 man of the year conversations. I think he was second in that to Montrezl Harrell. Or did he win it? I don't remember, dude, to be honest. But he was top two in that category. But last season with the Lakers was not good. Only 15 points. And really, when it came down to it in the playoffs, he was not good. Didn't shoot that three ball well at all last season. And now he just lost like 80 something $1 million signing for 5 million when he could have locked up 84 million and would have been a good contract for him, but a bad contract for the Lakers.
Another player that fumbled the bag twice. This guy did it twice.
Facts.
Victor Oladipo of now the Miami Heat. Or yeah, wait,
Yeah,
yeah,
he's on the Heat.
yeah, Heat. He got offered a 4-year, like $100-something million deal with the Pacers. That's when he was like really good with the Pacers. Now he's been like not that good at all. So he got offered that, declined that. Then when he was on the Rockets, he got offered a 2-year, like $40-something million deal, declined that. Now he got signed to a veteran minimum with the Miami Heat for a 1-year veteran minimum. That These two players are the dumbest players. I mean, maybe it's not them, maybe it's their agents, but whoever the heck did this to Victor Oladipo needs to get fired at life because they like, what are they thinking?
I seriously, dude, like Oladipo was once an all NBA player back in 2017, 18, and 18, 19. You know, he was really good in Indiana. And they said, bro, we want to lock you up. But this was after I think he got injured when I think he hurt his knee or his quad or something. He hurt somewhere on his lower body. And the Thunder was like, or the Pacers were like, yo, I know you're hurt. We still want to lock you up because you're like pretty good at life. But he was like, nah, I'm not going to do that because I can make more money than I want a max deal. So he bet on himself, which pretty much didn't work because he just started to suck. But he was also injured. Gets traded to the Rockets for early in the season for James Harden in that like 5-team trade that happened. And with Houston, you know, they offered him a deal with Houston. He put up 21 points in 20 games and then gets traded to the Heat and really just shows in 4 games he puts up 12 points. So Oladipo trying to get back to that level, I don't think he can, but I mean, dude, this is to show you in life. If somebody offers you a bag, you freaking take it. Okay. Even if you can get more money, you have to think, bro. This is 4 years, 100 something $1 million. Do you think I can get more than that? Probably not. I don't know who's giving that to Oladipo. No one is now, and he really just fumbled the bag twice, and now makes the veteran minimum.
So a lot of trade talks this off season with Ben Simmons. I mean, Ben Simmons has been like the face of trade talks for the NBA this off season, just because of how badly he can't shoot the basketball beyond the dunking line. The 76ers are expected to trade him before the season starts. What could I know they've said that they want 4 first-round picks for Ben Simmons, but nobody's gonna want to give them 4 first-round picks for Ben Simmons. I've seen a lot of just like dumb trade like rumors or whatever saying that the Warriors are gonna get him for like James Wiseman and like Draymond Green, like a 3-team trade or whatever. That's not gonna happen. But what do you think the 76ers should or could get for Ben Simmons?
I really think there's not many teams left. I think the Warriors are still a team that he could go to. The Blazers, if Dame requests a trade, but that's only if Dame requests a trade, because you're not trading him for CJ McCollum. People are saying the Spurs, but they want an all-star level player back or multiple first round picks. And then I think the Wizards only if Bradley Beal requests a trade, right? So the Warriors, they got Jonathan Kuminga. His nickname is super sick. I won't say it because it's just too sick to say. But Jonathan Kuminga they could trade. They also got James Wiseman, their most recent first round pick from last season. And then they got the Andrew Wiggins contract. But I don't know if that's an enticing trade offer for the 76ers. I mean, I think the Sixers are just running out of options, and bringing him back is definitely not one of them.
Um, yeah, I mean, if the 76ers, they've been saying that they want to trade Ben Simmons. They wanted they're expected to trade him before the season starts. But they gotta do it now, man, because or maybe not now, maybe like after summer league. Who knows? But they I don't think they can get the stuff that they want for Ben Simmons. I don't think anybody does. I mean, I've seen some videos of Ben Simmons working out that jump shot, but in summer league, he was making those shots that he can't make in actual NBA games. So I mean, if Ben Simmons can get good at affecting that, making that mid range 3-point shot effective, the 76ers may keep him, or his trade value can skyrocket through the roof.
Yeah, well, the thing is, Ben Simmons does that every offseason. He goes in the gym and shoots 3 pointers. It makes them all, and then once the NBA starts, he just doesn't know how to live life and shoot 3 pointers correctly. So something's wrong with him.
So this summer league, top or I think he was the 6th pick in the draft or 5th pick. Jalen Suggs is going to be out for the remainder of the summer league. Just because he has I think it was a finger injury. I don't know, but he he's out for the rest of the summer league. Orlando Magic. It's gonna hurt to see that happen. Maybe it maybe affects him through the rest of the season or the start of the season. But you want to see how he performs in these summer league games. But him being out for the rest of the summer league, it's gotta hurt for the Orlando Magic.
Yeah, obviously, you want to continue to develop him in the summer league and see how he does. But it's still a summer league and training camps a few months away. So I mean, just let him rest and heal up, and try to figure out the other guys that you want to see in the summer league. Excuse me, but Jalen Suggs, really great player at Gonzaga, and so far he's been absolutely amazing. He looks like an NBA vet in summer league, but it's not that big of a deal that he's injured. It obviously sucks, and hopefully it doesn't get too serious.
Kawhi Leonard that declined his player option. Nobody thought that he wanted out of LA Clippers, the bad LA team that nobody likes if you're born in LA unless you're weird. But
Facts.
he he re-signed an extension with them for 4 years, $146 million. That's big for the Clippers. They needed him. They needed him in the playoffs. He was injured, pretty bad injury. Um, but the Clippers, man, it's gotta feel nice to have Kawhi Leonard for 4 more seasons.
Yeah, I mean Kawhi Leonard is a top 10 player in the game of basketball. really great defender, really great scorer, a multiple-time champion, multiple-time Finals MVP as well. So the Clippers, he wanted to go to LA from the start of that free agency. So there was really no way he would leave. Why would he want to leave the place he wants to be? Even if they haven't won a championship yet, they are still one of the best teams in the league. So, it just made sense from the start for him to resign there.
So moving on from the NBA, we're gonna go to the NFL. First thing there is NFL preseason. NFL preseason week 1 is behind us, and we got some crazy stuff to talk about, featuring rookies like Trey Lance throwing a dime on an 80-yard touchdown pass. Trevor Lawrence throwing dimes to receivers. Mac Jones, how he performed. I mean, a lot of guys, Micah Parsons in that Hall of Fame game recovered a fumble. He was all over the place, and I'm excited to see how these rookies pan out when these games actually matter.
Yeah, I mean, they have been performing amazingly. Each guy has, really done their thing. Uh, Mac Jones, he kind of really showed his lack of arm strength, I guess you could say, in the start in his games. He threw some what seemed like easy passes, and they just died last second. They were at the dude's ankles when they shouldn't be because it was like 15-yard pass away. So that's a concerning sign. Trey Lance, who, in my opinion, call me a Trey Lance fanboy. That's what Gavin's been calling me. I think he's the best quarter. I think he's gonna be the best quarterback from his draft class. What's been shown in training camp, and then obviously in his first preseason game, throwing an 80-yard touchdown, which is pretty crazy. Trevor Lawrence went 6 of 9 with, I believe, a touchdown as well. And Justin Fields did really, really good in his debut. He had, I think, 3 touchdowns, 1 rushing, a few passing touchdowns as well. So, great debuts for the most part, and we still have a few more to see, I believe. Like
You
Zach
know,
Wilson.
Patrick Surtain got a pick six. Hurts as a Cowboys fan to see that because I really wanted the Cowboys to draft him. But I'm actually happy with Micah Parsons. I mean, he was in the Hall of Fame game. He was all over the place. He recovered a fumble. In this Cardinals game, I didn't really see that game, so I don't know because I was doing stuff. But guys, and this NFL preseason, and these NFL rookies, man, they look like they have been playing this game for a pretty decent amount of time, and everybody is excited to see what they can do in the regular season. So, I mean, I know I'm excited, so I can't wait.
Yes.
So, me and Connor are gonna rank uh just I NFL division. So first up, the NFC East.
Wait,
Um,
which one did you say?
the NFC East.
Oh, okay. You said like N and A at the same time, so I wasn't sure. All right, NFC East. Yeah.
So, Connor, why don't you do those 4 teams?
All right. So, in the past, it was probably the worst division in football. I don't really think it's the worst anymore. I still think it's towards the bottom because there's not really necessarily a clear cut winner. But in fourth place in the NFC East for next season, you know, I'm gonna go with the Philadelphia Eagles. I think this team just really sucks all around. They got Jalen Hurts, but besides that, they don't have a good wide receiving core. Their defense sucks. They have Dallas Goddard, that's pretty good tight end. Their head coach also sucks at giving press conferences and isn't really a good public speaker. And I don't think he's going to be a good head coach as well. So fourth place, Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, I mean the Philadelphia Eagles. I also have them in fourth place right now. They they've been predicted to be the worst team in football. They didn't do like anything this offseason. Ow. They didn't do like anything really huge that comes to the top of my mind, other than trading away Carson Wentz. It pretty much looks like that pick's gonna be a first round pick, or I don't know actually. But Jalen Hurts, I mean, if he can live up to what the Eagles are expecting him to play like, I think this team could possibly win 3 games.
That's so true. It's that's facts. In third place, I was a higher. I'm well, I was higher on this team than most people were. The Giants. Yeah, I really think I thought the Giants were going to be good this season. Obviously, no games have been played yet. I think their defense is young and up and coming. I think it's going to be a pretty good defense next season, and I stand by that. But the problem is, and the reason I don't think they'll be good this season is the offense. I don't think Daniel Jones is going to be as good as I thought he was. I didn't think he was going to be like an MVP quarterback or top five quarterback. I thought, if anything, he'll be like that solid average career quarterback, maybe like a Ryan Tannehill or like the next Eli Manning. Um, and then the wide receivers, I mean, Kenny Galladay's been hurt to start training camp, so that's a big blow. Saquon's back, and I don't like their head coach and Joe Judge. So Giants third place.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much a lock for these for 4th and 3rd seed in the NFC East. Outside of the Giants, I mean, they did some pretty big moves this offseason, like getting Kenny Galladay and Adoree Jackson. Pretty sure he went to the Giants.
Yeah, he did.
But yeah, Kenny Galladay is a huge addition for Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones sucks. I mean, I don't really like him as a quarterback for a starting quarterback for the Giants. I think they can do way better. They should have picked. I don't even know who they picked. Or no, they picked what's his face, the receiver dude. But I mean, he Daniel
Sterling
Jones.
Shepard. Was it Sterling Shepard?
Sterling Shepard has been on the team for a while.
Oh, I don't know. I don't even know, man. Like, my bad.
But yeah, Daniel Jones has he's not been good for the Giants. Their defense is going to be good for a couple. It's going to be good in years to come. I mean, Evan Ingram can't catch a football to save his life. He's really fast though. I mean, the Giants there's not good enough to be third or second place.
Yeah, their O line kind of sucks too. Um, these next two, I don't know who I want to put here because the question with one of these teams is the quarterback, and the question with the other team is like the entire defense, also the head coach, and possibly consistency from the running back, which is a lot of question marks. I'm gonna take second place the Cowboys. The Cowboys each season. You're a Cowboys fan, Gavin. I think you can attest to this. They're always an overhyped team, I guess you could say. Each season, the national media will be like, I think this is the Dallas Cowboys go out there and win the Super Bowl. Stephen A. Smith, you know, he always out there saying that they're gonna win a Super Bowl. Or Jerry Jones out here
Skip
like,
Bayless.
I think this is the year that my Dallas Cowboys can go out there and compete for a championship. That was the worst Jerry Jones impression ever. But the Cowboys just, I don't think they're gonna be good. They got the talent. They got CeeDee Lamb, who's gonna be a great receiver. Got Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, Ezekiel Elliott, and Dak Prescott. They got offensive talent, but they also got a dude named Mike McCarthy, who I don't think is a good coach, and their defense sucks.
My number 2 is gonna be the Washington Redskins. Just kidding. They are now the Washington football team. Yeah, there's a lot of questions with this team. I mean, they don't have, or I don't even know who their Ryan Fitzpatrick. Ryan Fitzpatrick is their quarterback. If they can get some fish magic going, who knows? But Ryan Fitzpatrick as your starting quarterback for week 1, that is not going to be good at all for your team. But all in all, I mean, they're a really young team that is going to be good for a pretty long time. And guys, you got guys like Chase Young, who's going to be really good for his. I think he's going to be really good for his whole entire career. But it's going to be who's going to be the quarterback for the season if Ryan Fitzpatrick doesn't live up to the football team's expectations, or even if he gets an injury, who's going to take his place? Is it going to be Tyler Heineke? But who knows about this Washington football team?
Yeah, first place for me. Jeez, Sheriff Clock doesn't work. First place for me is the Washington football team. I think the big question mark is the quarterback spot. I think in the draft they should have traded up this past draft. I think they should have traded up and taken one of these rookie quarterbacks. Whether it's trade up for 3 and get Trey Lance or Mac Jones or Justin Fields. I think Fitzpatrick can be a good quarterback, but he's proven out throughout his career what he can be as a quarterback, and his ceiling is 10 wins, maybe a playoff berth, but he's not going to be a Super Bowl quarterback. And they have a really good defense. Their defense is amazing. They got a good running back, and they also got Terry McLaurin in the wide receiver room. So I think they should have traded up and drafted a quarterback, maybe even trade for Matthew Stafford. But they do have Taylor Heineke, who did almost win his first playoff game against Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But I think they'll be in first place. I don't know how far they can go with Fitzpatrick, though.
I mean, my number one is going to be the Cowboys. I mean, I honestly, I'm a Cowboys fan. Their offense is really good. The defense really sucks. But we acquire guys like Micah Parsons in the draft, and we also got like Malik Hooker. He played for he was a first round pick by the Colts. We picked him up. I think this defense is gonna have to turn it around. But we have a really good offense. I watched episode 1 of Hard Knocks. I mean, Ezekiel Elliott he's had really like a bunch of trouble holding on to the football this last season. He's been working on that. But all in all, Mike McCarthy is a terrible coach. We have him for like 3 more years. I don't even like that at all. I think the Cowboys, I don't think they would go far in the playoffs, but I think they just be there just to be there. I think they'd be in the divisional or whatever the first round is called. They just be
Wild
there just to
card.
be there. Yeah, wild card. They just be there just to be there and then lose.
Agree. Now let's move on to the second division we got today. We got the AFC West. We'll let you start this one off.
Well, I mean, the top two are locked for me, but the bottom two, they're pretty hard to tell because both of them are really bad, and we're talking about the Raiders and the Broncos here. But I'm gonna have to put the Broncos in fourth place because I don't like the quarterback situation at all. I don't like Drew Lock back there at quarterback as I think is going to be their week 1 starter. I don't like him back there as a quarterback. I know that I've heard you say that you like him back there for him. You like his development or his potential. I don't really like him. Yeah, you got your first round draft pick like Patrick Surtain. Also Jerry Jeudy coming off his rookie season. But all in all, the Broncos are going to be a terrible team, and they're going to be fourth place for me.
Man, this is a tough one. This division is pretty solid all around. I'm gonna go fourth place, Las Vegas Raiders. The thing for me with this team is one, their draft picks never make any sense. Alex Leatherwood was our first round pick. He's a lineman from Alabama. Pretty good offensive lineman. However, our wide receiving room is kind of question mark. Henry Ruggs, can he step up in his second year? We got Derek Carr, who I think is a good quarterback. Don't get me wrong, he's a really good quarterback. But we also got John Gruden. He's not a good head coach, and our defense, is improving. But we weren't able to close out games last season that we should have closed out and won. So fourth place, Raiders.
I'm gonna put the Raiders in the third for my third place. Their first round pick this year, Alex Leatherwood. For sure, he's like a second or third round pick. He projected to be a second, third round pick. Why the heck did they pick them? Who the heck knows? Except for the front office, which literally every one of those people should be fired. I mean, the Raiders, Derek Carr is probably like the most underrated quarterback in the league right now. Josh Jacobs, hopefully he can be good, and Henry Ruggs, hopefully he can be good for the Raiders. But they're gonna be my third place team.
For me, this next one's kind of interesting. These next two, because I really don't know where to go with this one. This is tough. I'm gonna go with the Denver Broncos. I want to put them in second place. I like Drew Lock, dude. I think he's good. In this first preseason game, it's a preseason game. He played good. His rookie season, he was pretty solid. Last season in the 2020 COVID season, he didn't play. He didn't play great, but I think the Broncos have potential to be really good. They have a top 5 defense in all of football. One of the best safeties in football, and Justin Simmons. We also got guys like Bradley Chubb and Von Miller. Just drafted Patrick Surtain as well. And then on the offense side, they got Jerry Judy. They got Courtland Sutton. They got as well as Drew Lock and possibly Teddy Bridgewater. But that is third place for me. Yeah.
Second place. I mean, I'm not gonna put the Chiefs in second place, so I'm gonna put the Los Angeles Chargers. I'm never gonna get used to that name. I always want to call them the San Diego Chargers because that's what everybody knows them by. The Chargers, because their defense is amazing. If Derwin James can stay healthy, that's gonna be scary. Who is there? Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert was amazing his rookie season. Hopefully, he can do that again in his sophomore season. Who the heck is Austin Eckler? Austin Eckler is their running back. Um, he's been a breakout player ever since like letting Danny. But I don't even know what his name. But the other
Oh,
running back
Melvin
they had.
Gordon,
Oh yeah, that guy too. Melvin
Danny
Gordon.
Woodhead.
Yeah, Danny Woodhead. But I mean, guys like Keenan Allen, if he can stay healthy, if he Keenan Allen when healthy, he's a top 5 receiver in the league.
Facts.
And Mike Williams, pretty sure that's his first name. He
Pretty
is
underrated.
he's underrated receiver too. Letting Hunter Henry go. Who's gonna play with tight end? I don't even know. But the guys like Joey Bosa back there too at the defense side of the ball. That team's gonna be scary. But they're not good enough to beat the Chiefs in first place.
Yeah, I got the Chargers in second place as well. They brought in a new head coach, which was the Rams defensive coordinator. The big thing with the Chargers last season is Anthony Lynn was not a good clock manager. They lost some games that they should have won because they weren't running the correct offense. They weren't running a 4-minute offense to close out games. But they got Justin Herbert, rookie of the year last season, and shout out to our uncle Brent. We underrated Justin Herbert. He wasn't on the top 10 that we post on Sideline Sports Instagram, but he's a really good quarterback, and he has potential to be a top 5 quarterback in football. But like you said, they got Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, really good wide receiver duo. And Austin Eckler is one of the best fantasy football running backs. Also a really good running back in real life as well. If Derwin James can stay healthy, he's going to be one of the best safeties and defensive players in football. Drafted Rashawn Slater for that O-line. The Chargers are going to be good. I can't believe I almost put the Broncos ahead of them. I almost did that for a split second, not going to lie. But the Chargers are really good. Clean unis as well, so second place.
I mean, first place in every single. If you're predicting the AFC West, you were gonna put the Chiefs in first place. If you're not putting the Chiefs in first place, you are a weirdo. Like who was gonna put the Chiefs in first place? The team that went to Super Bowl back-to-back times, won the first time. They didn't score a single touchdown in the Super Bowl though. I mean, you got guys like Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and Tyreek Hill. And then you got Clyde Edwards-Helaire, the sophomore going into his sophomore season. I think he's going to be pretty good for the Chiefs.
Excuse me.
That defense, you got to work on that defense. I'm pretty sure like Patrick Mahomes ran close to like a lot of yards, running away from the defensive lineman in the Super Bowl this last Super Bowl, and they were like, "Dude, I'm not gonna let this happen again." Pretty sure they rebuilt their whole entire like offensive line. Their offensive line is crazy now, so they're gonna be first place, no doubt about it. Possibly even winning the Super Bowl too. I think it's gonna be Bucks and Chiefs rematch. To be honest, I mean it's gonna be like that.
Well, I was just about to when we wrap up the episode, I was going to say in a few weeks we'll give out our playoff and Super Bowl predictions, but looks like we might already have your Super Bowl. Yeah, first place Chiefs. I mean, it's clear Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in football, in my opinion, at least. I got Tyreek Hill, fastest receiver in football. Frank Clark on the defense, Matthew on the defense, and then that O line got revamped with Orlando Brown Jr., Kyle Long as well. Who else do they add on that offensive line? If they show the offensive line, Joe Thuney from the freaking New England Patriots, bro. So they revamped that O line after Mahomes got wrecked in the Super Bowl. And the Chiefs, they've been the best team in football the past 2 seasons, record wise, regular season wise. And I think that is going to continue this next season.
Bruh.
I think that is all we have for this episode. I want to start implementing a fun little mini game. Some podcasts they'll do drafts or rankings or whatever. I think it'd be cool. Me and Gavin start doing a top 5 of non-sports topic. We were gonna do top 5 cereals, but he never made a list and I never made a list, so we're not just gonna go off the top of our heads for that. Number 1 is Honey Nut Cheerios. But yeah, I think that's gonna wrap it. This episode of Know the Game on Sideline Sports, available on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, friggin' 20 other ones that no one's ever used in their life. But yeah, shout out to you for listening to this episode. And we will catch you guys next time for more sports content.
Bruh.